Once time in the beautiful-sounding locality Frostbrook, there was a boy named Cassian, and it was Christmas Eve. Even though he was a huge fan of the festive season, this year it was different. He was so detached. His friends were busy with their family and celebrations, while Cassian was alone at home in warm and cozy apartment, looking at the snowflakes outside the window. He wanted a little something to spice up his life and make him look at things through a different perspective. Thus, when the clock drew nearer to the midnight, the room was suddenly filled with a bright, warm light. Cassian's heart stopped for a moment when he turned around. Before him was a bright light, wearing a luminescent gown that each sparkle resembled the stars. She was a beauty and had the Christmas magic around her. "I am the spirit of Christmas," said she in the same manner as one singing a lullaby. "You look for something more, something beyond what you already know. Do you want to see the world from another perspective?" Cassian looked at her in disbelief. "What do you mean?" The fairy smiled kindly. "I can give you one wish tonight, but beware, a wish comes with a price that alters your life in ways that you never thought of. It will change your life. You will look at things and see beauty where you couldn't before." Cassian thought for a moment. He had been wonders what it must be to live as someone who moves through the world with style and with elegance and with beauty. "I want to know what it is like to be a woman, to look at the world in a woman way," he said, and there was awe in his tone. The fairy's eyes were glowing brightly. "So be it." Then, with a flick of her hand, the entire room made a full circle turn around Cassian. He felt a soft warmth engulf him, and when the world stopped moving, he looked into the mirror beside him. The reflection that stared back wasn't his own. He had lost the sharpness of his features. His face had become more graceful. He has exchanged his once cropped hair with long, silky hair that touched his back. His physical appearance was different, more delicate, and like a woman. He was dressed in a loose, brightly colored red satin gown that was quite flowing when caught in the light. Cassian looked at his hands and shivered slightly as he felt his skin. His fingers were slender, and there were rings on his fingers. The light in the room reflected off them. How did this happen?" He spoke in hushed tones, his voice singing now, much softer than it had been before. His mind was still ringing with the fairy's voice. "You wanted to see life from a different angle. Now you will walk in the shoes of a woman for the next 24 hours. Accept this change, and you will be able to perceive the world as she does it." Initially, Cassian struggled in a physical way, immersing himself in his new body. He didn't know how to walk or how he would be seen by others. Yet, as he exited the house, the environment appeared to tilt in some way around him. The air was different on his skin. His movements became more fluid and delicate. He saw how people observe his, how they greet, how their faces light up, how their eyes spend a little more time than normal. He felt something in his heart, like the world was hugging him for the first time in his life. He walked about the town's central business district. There was a beautifully decorated Christmas tree with lights on. There were some people passing by. They were looking at the lights. Then Cassian, now Seraphina, as he decided to name her in this new body, was making her feel so relaxed. This was like this man was seeing the world that he had never seen all his life. Seraphina went to the bakery. There was gentle smell of gingerbread baked in the air. The baker looked at her politely and handed her a small plate of cookies. When she accepted them, she realized how people treated her with such affection, like they saw her not as an individual, but as a fragile and special person. After that, Seraphina strolled through the Christmas market and could hear only laughter around. Some children ran to her and looked at her with great enthusiasm. They took her out to sing Christmas carols beside the ice skating ring in the town's square. Seraphina agreed gladly, for as she began to sing in a voice that was light and part of the beauty, she knew something true. Everything became softer and kinder, the world more rich. She felt like dancing with her feet, and everything moved in a new graceful female rhythm. At 12 o'clock in the night, the Christmas fairy came back. "You have gained a knowledge lot today of Seraphina," she said happily. "Now you know how through the world lens looks of like grace and beauty. But remember, this is not only a change in the physical aspect of your body, a Change this is your lifestyle. Enjoy it, for being a woman is not only a matter of appearance, but of the spirit, the touch, and the strength which a woman possesses. With that, with a quick flourish of her hand, the enchantment started to dissipate. Seraphina felt the warmth seeping out. And when she glanced into the mirror, Cassian's face was back. Finally, the heat of the magic dissipated, and Cassian saw the reflection of a man in front of him. He didn't move, his thoughts whirl. The once fine-boned face, the flowing gown, the elegant swaying, all that had contributed to him feeling like being someone else were no more. Nevertheless, he thought he was different, and it was as if the world he had moved through as Seraphina, kind, compassionate, tender, was still there for him, just out of his grasp. The eyes of strangers had alighted on him, not as they would on any common man, but with a gentleness that he had never felt before. Everything had seemed more real, more alive, a smile, a conversation. Now, as Cassian, the world was clear or clearer, as if he'd pulled back from it, but he could recall the sensation of those moments, the tenderness. He went to the window. The warm light of Christmas tree made patterns of deep shadows on the snowy streets of Frostbrook. He was relieved, though the change was over. The body was the same, but the mind was changed. Or at least, the way Cassian saw things was different in ways he hadn't expected. Those words which the fairy said remain in his head right now. True, femininity is not skin deep. It manifests not only in the carry or gesture or in the sweetness of the heart, but in the strength of the softness as well. Cassian understood now. It wasn't about learning how to be someone else in order to navigate through life. It was about being more accepting and forgiving of the world. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe.